Hello guys, my name is Christian, and today I'm going to be showing you guys 2 base Chargelot all in. This is a build I came up with. It pretty much works with every race, so it doesn't really matter if you're facing Zerg, Terran, or whatever. Even if they wall off, it it still works, uh, even if you're low to your diamond. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our first pylon down. We're gonna wall off the low ground in order to get our second base. So we're gonna get our gateway up, and immediately that follows, we're gonna get our simulator up, which I failed to do. But once we hit 16 probes, then we get our simulator up, hopefully soon. And come on, go ahead. Yep, there we go, getting our simulator. And immediately we're going to get our cybernetics core down here, and then our nexus. And as we're scouting, we're just going to look for a third base. If we get a third base, then we could just continue on with our strategy. But if not, then we can continue anyways, because we're still going to kill them. So we got our second pylon, so we don't get supply capped whenever Stalker comes out. And we're just gonna continually build probes. After this simulator is saturated, we're just gonna rally probes to the second base in order to saturate it early. What we also need to do is get our pylon right here, and also Twilight Council right by our first base, so it doesn't get scouted over here by this overlord. We want to delay it as soon as possible. His scouting. Delay his scouting. So everything's looking good so far. Just getting a lot of probes down. And I want a shield battery just because I saw him on 2 base for a while. I don't know what he's gonna do. But as soon as we reach the 100 Vespine gas mark, as soon as that reaches 100, we're going to get our Twilight Council. And then once that's done, we're going to get our charge upgrade for it. Immediately following the Twilight Council, we're going to start getting a lot of gateways. A good number of gateways to get before charge finishes is about 6 or 7, and you should be good. But after this base is saturated with 16 workers on minerals, we really don't need to make probes anymore. We just need to focus on getting gateways and getting zealots. So after this reaches 16 workers, we're just going to cut off probes as we do here. Just cut off probes. Don't really need them, and we're gonna just make a bunch of gateways. As you can see, I'm making 6 gateways. I'm probably gonna go for 7. And this this Zerg, but he scouted, but he's still going for a third base, and he's still droning up. So he obviously learned nothing from that scout. So as warp gate finishes, we want to start warping in zealots as soon as possible. And once we have about 15 or so zealots, the charge should be finished. You could go earlier with 10 zealots if you wanted to, but I usually like to go 16 or 15. So after you have a good number of zealots, you want to go ahead and just A move. Just A move their base. And just kill them. Also, while you're doing this, you want to make sure you don't get supply blocked. You want to make sure you build a lot of pylons. And as charge finishes, you're gonna have a lot of fast zealots coming at your opponent. And as your first wave actually goes, you could get your third nexus and just probe up after that. As soon as you deal like a lot of economic damage, there's no going back for your opponent. Your opponent's gonna be hurt like a lot. So here's my opponent. Looks like he's just gone roaches. He's actually banking up a little bit. But he's going roaches. That's the appropriate response. Well, not really. He just died actually. There he goes. I think what he should have done is actually pulled drones. That would have been better for him. But actually, if you are Zerg in this situation, you shouldn't be making roaches. You should be making banelings. Banelings is pretty awful. I think banelings counter this strategy pretty well. As you can see, my opponent's getting tilted. I said easy just for the fun of it. And this is this is why we do this build. Just so we can get responses like this. Yeah, just for the tilt. That makes it all worthwhile. But as you're sitting in Zealots, obviously your opponent is going to be dealing with roaches. If your opponent does fend off your first wave with a bunch of roaches, like a lot more than this guy had, then you should be using your gas to build 2 robotic facilities to get immortals out, and that will help deal with the roaches pretty quickly. Also, what you could do if you're facing off against Terran and it looks like he's actually well enough good and stuff, you could actually get a Robo or a DT, and you can actually just warp in Zealots inside his base and just deal a lot of economic damage. But yeah, this is the 2 base Chargelot all in, or make it 3 at the 6-minute mark. But you can also go DTs with this build, and I think that's actually a good strategy as well. But yeah, at the 5:30 mark, just make sure you keep making zealots, get your 3rd nexus up if able, and just keep on going in waves, just dwindling down your opponent's resources, and just killing his drones and dealing economic damage. And you should win a lot of games. I'm not gonna say every game because that'd be a scam, but you should win a lot of your games if you're like a rank 3 diamond. Yeah, I'll to see you guys in the next one.